It's been 3 months since we recorded FF7, and holy shit, we're back again. How you doing, Max?
Oh, I'm pretty good now. I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
it's
pretty
it's
bad.
been a while.
Even on
Has
my
it really
standards,
been
that was bad.
3 months?
Like, holy shit, we're back.
We are back.
We're going to
3 months.
Midgar.
Wow, that's nuts. And yeah, I'm trying to remember like what exactly we're doing.
We're about to
Level
fucking
14
storm
now.
Midgar.
Jesus. Yeah, oh, that's right. So the last time Tifa was about to get gassed, I think, and got out of that and shot Diamond Weapon right in his stupid fucking face.
Right? Why don't we go to Midgar? Do I have to talk to Sid?
Now you got to talk to your level 14 pilot.
Huh.
And use his elite skills to.
Oh, we've got to go to the
Get your
cave
way
first.
What?
We got to go
You
check
know
on
him greater?
Sephiroth. He's probably not feeling too great after that
You
cannon
just
blast.
have to crash into the barrier. Oh wait, no, the barrier's gone.
Yeah, barrier's gone. But then before we can enter the cave, Hojo goes a little rogue here. Where's the damn cave? There it is. Let's take a look-see. He'll go anywhere you tell him to go, Cloud. You tell him to nosedive into the ocean, he will follow orders. Oh boy. They're planning some shit. Strange, I can't reach the president. Oh man, that'd be like a perfect time for like a brief flashback that showed Rufus taking that cannon beam straight to the face. Where's the president?
That's right. That was a while ago.
Yeah. Well, technically in the game world, it's been about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Must cool for 3 hours. This is the
Wow.
most inefficient war weapon ever.
I mean, seriously, this is the crack team that Shinra has.
Right?
This
You can
is
fucking
the best
evacuate a
captain.
city in 3 hours. God.
There's no plan in place. They're just like, I can't reach him. Where is he?
Yeah, right? What could be
I
going
don't
wrong?
know. He's probably fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm sure everything's okay. I don't care how you do it. Just get it done, fat man. There he is. Something changed for Hojo that day.
Wow.
I'll give you all the Mako you want. This is just like blind, stupid, suicidal instinct he's on here. Oh, Hojo.
I was watching one of those that link I sent you about the Kotaku, the guy that plays this and the Japanese version at the same time.
Yeah.
And cites the differences. Apparently, in the translation, Hojo's a pretty chill guy in the original Japanese.
Oh, he's just like
when you see him
totally
at the
collected
beach,
throughout this whole
he's like
thing.
totally like macking it up and everything with like the two women he has at the beach. And it's like, huh.
Yeah. So Hojo's actually got game in Japan.
What in the hell?
Of course, I know. What does that walk, Kate Sith? Of course, that is a
so
society
ashamed.
that largely prizes intellect over like physical prowess. So
Yeah,
Hojo, I
so-
guess, would be a hunk.
What a foreign concept.
You're busted, Reeve. So sometimes it reminds you that Kate Sith is basically just a giant walking radio.
Yeah.
Oh boy. He already double-crossed us, Sid.
Yeah.
You damn fool!
What is?
You're a damn fool. So, we won't shut the reactor off, but we'll let the unhinged lunatic operate the giant cannon. We've got literally a 3-hour time limit before he destroys the entire city, because we're worried about a minor power outage. Yeah, seriously,
There
the
we
canon.
go. Yeah.
Jesus. Priorities, people. You know, what I love is how they just stand there and let Reeve have a whole conversation in character with his friends.
Like, seriously.
Remember in Advent Children where they gave him, like, the Scottish accent?
Oh, Kate Sith, that's right. It's like,
Yeah, but Reeve
does
totally
Reeve,
doesn't
like-
have a Scottish accent. So, like, he's talking to Heidegar and what's-her-face, and then all of a sudden he starts talking like this. Oh,
yeah, I'd
my
be a little scared
God.
at this point. It's like, what the fuck is he doing?
I have a
Police
running
gonna give the
theory that
orders?
everyone in Shinra is completely stoned at all times, and that's how they come up with these
Okay,
ideas.
like, this actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like,
If they're all tripping balls, suddenly their actions make a lot more sense. You'll come,
also,
won't
is
you?
Kate Sith gonna be out of commission? Like, he's not. I know you can take him with you.
Right?
So is it kind of like they take him away, but they still, like, let him have his little game or something?
I'm sure there's some kind of, like, in-canon explanation where it's like, oh, I just set the thing to autopilot or something. It has, like, an actual free will that can be deactivated by Reeve at any time. Its whole life is a living hell. Kate Sith is actually a sentient being wearing, like, a mind control collar like Terra from
just
FF6.
like the Reeve collar.
Oh, God.
Have you seen the movie Get Out?
No, I haven't, but I keep hearing I
okay.
should. Like, it went
You
under my
should.
radar as just like kind of a cabin in the woods sort of thing, but I hear it's a lot deeper than that.
Oh, it's a good movie. Yeah, definitely, a commentary aspect to it, which makes it pretty good.
yeah,
But,
for sure.
It's I'd say it's like a horror first and foremost, but there's a humor aspect to it too. But mostly it's just kind of horrifying, but not because it's scary. It's more horrifying because it's like that's dark and horrible and kind of rage-inducing. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
definitely
your
worth checking
conversation
out.
just reminded me of it.
Well, hey, you know what I picked up that I finally watched again was The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So-
We got to pick that up.
Yeah, so
I
that's
was
been kind of
talking
like
to my
dominating
brothers
my
about that
movie
one.
watching right now, just because I wanted to give it a fresh watch. You know, I was in the camp where, first time I saw it, I really enjoyed it. So I know a lot of people didn't.
Yeah. And what about second viewing? What's your thought?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like, I could actually, because all of my expectations for it, for like what the plot should be, were gone. I think I enjoyed it even more than the first time because I got to
Alrighty.
appreciate it purely for like the risks and the interesting character dynamics that it introduced. I mean, like I said, I knew what was going to happen with Snoke and Kylo Ren and Rey's parents and all that good stuff. So like I didn't have that like at the forefront of my mind to kind of like temper my expectations. And
Yeah.
as a result, like I said, I found the plot to be even more brilliant. I really, really liked that movie. And
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
know
on
I'm in
second
the
viewing,
minority
you're just
there.
like you're looking forward to things, and it's just really cool when it happens.
Right.
Like I think most of my friends enjoyed the movie, but it had they like there's some faults to it, and I'm pretty much
yeah.
in that camp where it's just like I like it. There's some things that are kind of like but I think for the most part it's really good. And then my family, well, my brothers like pretty much absolutely hated the movie.
I see.
They were, I mean, there's my brother, well, one of them was just like, okay, it's totally the director, and I don't remember his name, Rick or Rock something with an R.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
like,
think of it
it's
either.
like a total SJW wank fest, which is like, no, I don't think that at all. Like,
No.
I can kind of see some people say, oh, he's trying to leave his mark on Star Wars, which, well, yeah, what every
Well,
director's
yeah,
trying to
fuck
do.
yeah, he is.
If he's trying to launch his career, yeah, of course he is. But to say that he's completely using it as a vehicle for like just, SJW agenda or something, it's like, well, all right, if there's more like equality like in your movies, like that's not a bad thing. I don't think
No.
he's catering to like a
And-
certain audience. He's catering
And
to
truthfully, I didn't pick up on that at all. I mean, if anything, that was The Force Awakens because, it was still shocking to have them introduce Finn and Rey as the main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
didn't pick up on the SJW stuff really at all. The most common complaint I hear actually is like kind of like the side plots that don't really go anywhere. But like I said, as I watch it again, I really appreciate that because the whole point of the movie is for the resistance. It's supposed to be incredibly frustrating, and
yeah.
that's what you get from it is that all of their plans are completely like put at a standstill, and they still have to find a way to kind of like salvage hope from that.
Yeah.
And so that being the theme, I thought it was done really well.
I don't think that was their biggest complaint. I think one of their other complaints was that the kind of the Finn Rose side story didn't really amount to much of anything, which I don't
Well, yeah, that
totally
was the
agree with it.
point.
Like I get it, but I also think one, yeah, the you know what you're saying, that it's kind of a point that they tried to do that and it didn't really amount to much of anything.
Right, like it
But two,
straight
it
up
also
didn't work
introduced
out,
that
but
character.
they still found a way to persevere in spite of it.
Well, for that, what I didn't like about that is that if they didn't do anything, apparently the outcome would have been largely the same. But at the same time, they ended up finding that guy, which he might make an appearance in episode 9. He might be important.
Yeah,
You know,
that's my.
he
I
might
think that's
not.
my thought is that they'll
But
convert him in the third act.
yeah, it's like I don't think they would introduce him for no reason. You know,
No,
that's
he'll
basically
like
the
die in a
biggest.
really dramatic fashion where like he finally, you know, learns the value of sacrificing for other people.
Yeah, he's definitely the biggest takeaway from like Finn and Rose's side adventure.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I think he's gonna feature in episode 9 in some important way.
Yeah.
Um,
But
I'm
that
trying
being
to think what.
said, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. That being said, my only disappointment with that movie still remains was the oh shit was that I thought
Oh wow, yeah. These guys can fuck up
when
your
they were
day.
talking about like a master code breaker or whatever he was supposed to be. I really thought that was going to be a way to introduce Lando Calrissian.
Oh,
Like when they mentioned
okay.
that he was like a gambler and other things like
Okay.
that. So I had really assumed that that was going to be where they brought Lando back in for whatever reason.
I can see that assumption. That's I mean, just it'd be setting yourself up for disappointment, I guess.
Yeah.
But that would be great if they brought him back for that movie.
Well, yeah, because I actually really enjoyed the character of Lando Calrissian from the original trilogy because that was kind of the same arc that we're describing right now. Basically, a character that was completely selfish and out for his own interests that kind of learned to fight for a higher cause.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him in like a fully
Lando.
matured role.
Yeah. That'd be
Like,
cool.
what would Lando be like, 20, 30 years later?
Kind of following that after he kind of got over just his being out there for his own selfish reasons.
Right.
What would he be like as an older, wiser person?
Right, exactly. And so I would have loved to see that. And the fact that like they said that you would find him like at a gambling card table or something like that, that really made me think, it's got to be Lando.
Yeah.
And yet again, it's kind of still seeing that aspect of him, like kind of Lando in like his element. Because when you think about it, when you met him in Empire Strikes Back, he was being coerced by Vader into betraying his friends. And then when you saw him in Return of the Jedi, he was in the middle of a war, right? So you never got to see like Lando just being Lando.
Yeah.
And I think the Han Solo movie, though, is going to explore that quite a bit more.
Yeah, Lando is actually what I'm most excited about with the Solo movie.
What's the actor's name who's playing him in the new one? He's in a lot of stuff.
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, yes. He looks like a perfect young Lando.
He really does. Yeah, I think he's a great fit, and I think he'll bring a lot to the character. I'm pretty excited. Maybe a bit of humor too.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing that I'm hoping. If they want to make this like a true blue Han Solo movie, which, judging from the trailers, I think they're doing well. They better get the humor just like pitch perfect. It's got to be like Han is a schmuck, especially
Yeah.
because he hasn't matured yet. He's got to be like a hardcore schmuck.
Yeah.
And actually, though, that's the one thing that's still, like I said, Donald Glover is a pitch perfect looking young Lando. The one thing I can't get over, even if the personality's right, the guy that they got to play Han, like I look at him and I almost forget who he's playing. Like just because of his face. I know I'll get used to it.
I get that too. Han was definitely, he's a pretty boy. He was played by a young Harrison Ford, but this guy, I don't know if it's just the look of him or what it is.
His face is a little bit too round. Not like he's fat, but like he's just got such a different facial structure from Harrison Ford. Like Harrison Ford was like super wiry and he almost had like a horse face. It was so long. And then this guy's got like, kind of fuller cheeks and stuff like that going on.
I know it's not just us. Well, it's also just kind of his delivery on things. I think people were kind of had a problem with the first trailer, kind of how he was acting, or the first trailer where he actually has some lines.
Yeah.
And his acting with that, which there's something off about it. I get it. I kind of feel the same way. That's like I'm not feeling Solo from this. I'm not feeling Han from his delivery.
And again, I'm sure what they're going for is kind of a more rough around the edges Solo. Which is fine, and like I said, I'm actually not super, counting on a perfect like Harrison Ford spot on delivery, because I think what the whole point of the movie is that he has to grow into that character. Shit, Cloud's just fucking massacring himself.
Seriously, they always know to confuse Cloud.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of the whole point. Like, it doesn't have to be like a, perfect Han Solo impression, because this is Han Solo before he was like the notorious smuggler that he is by the time A New Hope rolls around.
I feel
that part doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's purely like a cosmetic thing. Like I look at him, and whereas Donald Glover is recognizably Lando Calrissian, this guy isn't recognizably Han. Like if his name weren't revealed from the start, like I almost might think he's playing like Han Solo's older brother or something like that.
I don't think he can be too different. Like, yeah, he changes a lot throughout like the original trilogy, but you gotta have that humor there. You gotta have kind of that swagger, that kind of scoundrel like personality,
right.
for it to be believable that he's Han. He doesn't have to act like Han Solo from the original, and he doesn't have to act like Harrison Ford, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So, I don't know. Can't really judge it till I see it. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing. People have already written it off, but like at the same time, do you realize what we're asking this person to do is basically to not change this performance so much that it's not Han, but then also to lend something so new to it that it makes us fall in love with Han all over again. I mean, that's a tall order.
And not be accused of be derivative of Ford's performance.
Right.
So he doesn't have an easy job.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's almost like a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. So I'm not going to go into it with the expectation, that this guy needs to be Harrison Ford in every way, shape, and form. Because that's just asking too much of a person to do, I think. But if he is able to give it like his own distinct personality, while at the same time, like I said, being recognizably kind of a younger, rough around the edges Han, then I'm happy with it. I can get over his face not being, Harrison Ford's face.
Yeah.
But it's just like one of those things where like you're kind of taken out of the element. You're very aware that it's a film set in the Star Wars universe, as opposed to like, oh, okay, I am immediately sucked in and this is Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
like I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. I'm trying to think of when that has happened to me. I know it happens like with Wifey. It happens sometimes with actors
Yeah.
who are very typecast, or even like an actress, like with Frozen, all she could think about is, oh, it's Idina Menzel from Wicked. She couldn't think, oh, this is this Elsa character.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of sucked out of it that way, it's like, oh, you can still enjoy it, but you're watching a movie, and it's kind of like paying homage to Star Wars rather than
For
being
sure.
Star Wars.
And that's kind of how I felt with Rogue One the first time I watched it, is that it's it's an homage to Star Wars, not like an actual Star Wars. But again, after I watched it a few more times, like I got on board. Like this is still Star Wars. It's just not Skywalker Star Wars, which is
And that's
actually kind of refreshing.
I get that. I kind of felt that way, but that's what I really loved. It was just like, wow, this felt really different. And then I watched it again, and I was like, you know what? It's my fault. It's not, even though it added to the enjoyment, I was like, why does this feel kind of like off? And it's because you're so used to the Jedi perspective.
Yes.
It's like you don't see that universe from a commoner. Like you never have.
No.
You almost see it from the Jedi's perspective, and they're so different from normal people. Like, and I never really thought about that.
Yeah, and by the time I finished my second watch through of that movie, like I was crazy about it because I just realized that I had watched a Star Wars movie that was actually about Star Wars. I mean, it was literally a war movie set among the stars. I mean,
yeah, and even though like the first movie, like they called it Star Wars because there's space battles, it really is. I feel like the wars had already happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the actual and this was. Yeah, it definitely felt different. It was something special, and I mean, it was a
freaking good movie, and again, people shat on it because like it didn't necessarily add to the Jedi Skywalker mythos. But again, when you have a universe as gigantic as Star Wars, it's like you said, not everything has to be about this one extremely narrow storyline involving the Jedi. I thought it was super refreshing to see something like the expanded universe novels actually put on screen. So I really enjoyed Rogue One, and I think I am really going to enjoy Solo once I, fully accept this new actor as Han.
Yeah. I can't remember what they call the crystals or that material, but
Kyber crystals.
I think that was Extended Universe where they introduced that, and then, they put it in that movie, and it was just like,
Disney has been very selective with like what they've kept from the expanded universe stuff, and some of it like they've kept but changed like certain aspects too. Like I think it's now, according to the Disney movies, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that like for instance the color of the lightsaber is determined by the user's personality. So like you make your lightsaber, and then as like you grow in sync with the weapon, it changes color based on who you are as a person. And I actually think that's kind of a cool, forcey sort of mechanic. It sounded kind of stupid at first, but then I remembered this is a, series that has laser swords and, magic in the same universe as like spaceships. So
basically,
who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just sounds like something that the Jedi would adopt. As opposed to like the original canon, which said, it's you just find the crystal and that's its color.
I'm trying to think another criticism, and I feel like I'm misrepresenting my brothers entirely. If they watch this, they'd be like, that is not what we said at all, because I'm not remembering a lot of what they said. But I think
it's not like they watch our show, Max.
Right. Well, one of the big things was Yoda, who that was one of my favorite parts. I have some criticisms about Episode 8. The gas and some weird things. Like the light speed going backward, even though I thought it was flipping awesome. It looked cool. It's like, you'd think this would happen a few more times throughout the Star Wars history. But one of their criticisms was one of the parts I loved the most was Yoda. And
I loved Yoda in that movie.
Yeah, seriously. I loved senile acting, at least, old Yoda.
Just like smart ass Yoda.
I love the relationship. The Luke Yoda relationship is kill.
Yeah,
is the best.
I hated prequel Yoda so much because like he was just like this blind, stubborn, like religious zealot, and And again, it makes for good character growth, but by the end of Return of the Jedi, he didn't really have that growth. It's just like, or sorry, Revenge of the Sith. It's like you leave him there, and he's like this depressed shell of a creature, and then the next time you see him in Empire, it's like almost a different character altogether.
Yeah. Yeah,
and so I was really glad to see, like, you know, the Yoda that I grew up with in Empire and Return of the Jedi come back.
Why are they turned around? Are they just like too cool to fight you, or they don't want to fight you? Basically, I'm guessing that's what it is.
Right?
They're like,
oh damn,
choking back their tears of, you know, oh, these guys have helped us before. We don't really want to fight them, but we gotta.
Dude, am I straight up playing on hard mode? Like, is there a hard mode in this game?
Like, what did he do? He just like knocked you out.
Yeah, like before I could even get a move off.
Holy shit, like 1050? Are we just playing this game wrong this time? Like, we've felt this way this entire game, that
yeah, I have never...
People who were chumps before just laying into you, like...
Right? I have never had, like, this much of a problem with this particular game.
Like, who is that guy? Is that Rude? Or, because it's not Sang. Who's the guy that's, like, totally bodying you right now?
I didn't even see. Like, I looked up from stealing, and Cloud was dead.
It's the guy on the bottom. I think that's Rude with the sunglasses.
Yeah, that's Rude.
Yeah, he's taken like 1,000 with his hits. Like 644 is already like.
And I've got good armor on the characters too, so I don't understand.
Yeah, just flarily.
All right, so my goal here is just to steal something from each one of these guys because they have really good armor.
Okay.
I think I already got Elena's, but no, it says couldn't steal anything, not nothing to steal.
Rude is like bodying you. 1155.
Yeah, so basically I'm just like staying. Yep, there's the Minerva band.
Minerva
Sweet.
band. Okay,
so I'm basically just staying invincible until Yuffie gets the steals off, and I know that doesn't exactly make for very exciting viewing, but that's the precedent we've set.
Oh, come on. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and then when Cloud gets confused, it gets even worse.
He's going to double cut people.
Hey, there's the Zedrich.
You got a Zedrich from him before, I think.
I did. I've got another one.
But those things are good, so why not, right?
Okay, so now all that's left is Reno.
Sorry.
I can just go ape shit on these guys.
But his, like... Oh, jeez. Yeah, seriously. You gotta just limit break it. What was I saying? Yeah, I think... So one of their criticisms was that Yoda all of a sudden didn't care about the Jedi, and he, like, burned those books.
Right.
And it was, okay, first of all, he does care about the Jedi. And he even said, I'm pretty sure he said that the Jedi will live on, you know, or I know it said it. And they knew that Rey is kind of like their best chance for carrying on that legacy. But also, and something I didn't even know at the time I watched Addy.
Oh, hey, you're breaking up. I'm guessing your heater just came on?
It did, so I'm going to get real close.
Sweet. So if you could just say that last sentence over again, because I got, like, nothing.
Oh, like, the first time I watched the movie, I didn't notice. Addy had to point it out to me when we watched it again, is that Rey took those books, the religious texts, from that Jedi temple.
Yes.
And I didn't even see that at the end of the Yoda, I think, already knew that, you know, so he didn't...
Oh, for sure.
But he's also trying to prove a point that it's just like, you're kind of putting too much focus on this, and you know, the Jedi are more than these books, you know?
Right.
So, I don't know, and I think one of my brothers did not like that so much, and that it was very out of character for Yoda. And it's like, I thought Yoda was very in character. And this is, like, exactly what he would do. Like,
yeah, that's exactly right. Like, Yoda always, like, taught Luke the hard lessons. Like, he would let him fall face first into catastrophe in order to make a point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
So yeah, I had no problem with that depiction of Yoda. In fact, that was you know, again, kind of in my head what Yoda is supposed to be.
Yeah, that the Yoda is the kind of the crazy hermit, just kind of. But
Yeah,
he
kind of
has
like
he has
vaguely
that
curmudgeonly,
wisdom.
but in a wise way.
He has that very simple wisdom.
Yeah.
That's just like, what are you doing? Just looking like this isn't important. And where you're looking so far out into the future, you got to think about what's here and now.
Yeah. And that was always Yoda's character, was like, don't judge me by my looks or like take my words at their face value. There's like a hidden wisdom there, which is why I hated the prequel Yoda so much, because all of a sudden they just had to make him like another, lightsaber swinging badass. And the whole point of Yoda was that like he never even had to, engage in combat in order to make his point.
I feel like, and maybe I'm misrepresenting. I feel like in the prequels is very much, so much about the Force. I mean, it always is, of course, but I feel like in the original, what Yoda sense is he'll just knock you on the head with his cane and be like, stop trying to be up your own ass and think too much. Just feel it,
That's 100% right. That and again, that's how I've always interpreted Yoda.
Yeah, so I definitely like that part of the movie a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of I think one of the other things about that was Snoke and kind of how he went out, and I thought that was cool because it showed Kylo Ren's ambition a lot.
Yeah.
Just kind of how much he's kind of how powerful he is, but also just like what his aims are, that how great it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my brother was like, no, it doesn't show, kind of his power. That Snoke was just tricked, basically.
Yeah.
That's
the thing.
That's no easy thing, I think.
Yeah. And what the movie did was they obviously they played with people's expectations, but the whole point of that scene was that Snoke is no Palpatine. Like, the Force Awakens got criticized quite a bit because it was so similar to A New Hope. And so their thought was, okay, so we do away with that whole comparison thing. They basically led you to believe that Snoke was the next Palpatine.
He's the big bad.
Yeah, but really he wasn't, and that's okay. I mean, he doesn't have to be. The point is, this is like Kylo Ren's rise to, or rather fall into the dark side. And Snoke was nothing more than a stepping stone for him to do that. And that's okay, because it makes him drastically different than Palpatine. How boring would it be if Kylo Ren is just being strung along this whole way, and he has the exact same arc as Vader, and Snoke has the exact same arc as Palpatine, and Rey has the exact same arc as Luke? At that point, why not just, remake the original trilogy?
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering about Kylo Ren, like if it's the dark side that he's going down, like that dark path, or if it's like something, because I feel like he's more of like a screw it all, screw the light side, the dark side, but it's like, what is his ambition? And I know Darth Vader is a very important figure to him.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a screw the Jedi and Sith kind of person, but I think he's using the dark side kind of the same way he was using Snoke. He sees it as a way to get power. I think more than anything, Kylo Ren aspires to be like a politician. Okay. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely using the dark side, because there's a difference between the dark side and the Sith. Like the Sith are practitioners of the dark side.
Right.
And I don't know as far as if they're a race or what's going on with that, but they are of the dark side. But I think screw the Sith, screw the Jedi.
Yep.
But the dark side is how he's fulfilling his ambition, which I'm not positive that is just yet.
Yeah, right, and that's the cool thing. He's kind of playing that close to the chest. Like he's de facto head of the First Order, but at the same time, what does that actually mean for him? How is he going to use his newfound control of the First Order? Like, what does he actually want? We still really don't know. We know it has to do something with the Knights of Ren that he's either one of or in charge of. It's still kind of vague
if they're still around. Sure. Well, wait a second. What did he murder the other people? He murdered the other students, Luke, right? Or
He
what
murdered
happened?
Snoke's bodyguards. I don't think those were the Knights of Ren, though.
No, not those guys. Like when Luke was like in the first movie, they were talking about this horrible thing that happened. Luke didn't he have other students, or was it him and Kylo Ren?
No, he had other students, and Kylo Ren burned his like new Jedi Academy to the ground and killed a lot of them. But if you remember in the flashback with Rey in The Force Awakens, there are definitely other members of the Knights of Ren that we haven't like seen face to face.
We haven't seen them at all then.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they definitely exist.
Yeah, I'm wondering, and I'm not ready to call Kylo Ren like a tactical person. He's shown to be extremely emotional.
Oh yeah, he's super
He's
immature.
definitely powerful, and he's ambitious. I'm
Right.
willing to say that. But
And what I like about that,
is.
because of his lack of, like calculation, it makes him a very different person from Vader or Darth Sidious.
Very different.
And I
from
think that's a
Vader.
really good thing.
Which for the dark side, it is on emotion. That's where the power comes from. It comes from emotion. But I think Vader kind of kept that emotion inside, and it just his rage was like, okay, you failed me again. I'm gonna crush your throat. Like he was very like a simmering rage under the surface. And Kylo Ren is, like you said, immature. He kind of just lets it out. Both are scary. I think both have subordinates who are just terrified of them.
Right. And I think more than anything, I think that's kind of why he wants that. That's why he admired Vader so much, was because of like the fear that his name induced in other people. Like he always felt like he was in the shadow of his family, and that he was like weak on his own, so he wants to be like feared and admired the way that Vader was, and so I think ultimately that's his goal, is just subjugation.
This thing is not that powerful as far as hurting you, but it has a lot.
No,
of
it can
HP.
take some damage.
It has like 60,000 HP if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh, there he's on his knees now. Now he starts doing a bit more damage. But if Cloud gets a limit break, it's pretty much game over for him.
Yeah. So I feel like I was going to say something else, but well, we talked about episode 8 a lot, and then we just started talking about Vader in general and how badass he is.
That was the other great part of Rogue One, was that Vader scene.
Holy crap, yes. Like,
I think even people who didn't like that movie were all about that scene.
Yeah, that scene was nuts. It was a little horrifying too.
I know, right? Like, they actually made Vader intimidating.
Oh, I think he's always been like intimidating.
Oh, for sure. But when you think about the prequels, like that kind of did a lot to damage the allure of Vader.
Oh, when you just think of Hayden Christensen, it's like, oh, he's just a whiny kid. That's Vader.
Yeah, well, Hayden Christensen gets a lot of shit, but I actually thought he did okay with the material he was given.
What he was given, yeah. That's
like, I didn't have a problem with Hayden
really
Christensen, the actor. I had a problem with the damn scripts.
I also had a problem with him and Natalie Portman, just kind of their chemistry.
Yeah, there was
none. There was none.
No, there was nothing going on there.
He could have been, married to a, Natalie Portman could have been played by a Brillo pad or something, and it would have been kind of the same chemistry.
Yeah. But again,
I don't blame either of them necessarily.
I mean, when you look at the lines they were fed, I mean, like, there's the obvious ones, like people always make fun of the sand line, and what else? Like that stupid, oh, I'm so in love with you in Revenge of the Sith. I don't know. Again, like how could you even fake chemistry when your dialogue is that forced?
When it's that stilted, you do what you can. I gotta say, you know what? Those movies come on a lot, like on TV.
Yeah.
And I watch them again, and it's just like, you know what? Phantom Menace is just it's a fairly good movie. Like, it's
it was actually
kind
of entertaining, and so was Revenge of the Sith. I actually thought the second one was the weakest.
Oh, it is for sure. And I was going between for years. I'm like, do I like Phantom Menace more? Or do I like as far as the original trilogy is definitely better. I won't argue that. but the first and third movies, they're not bad. And
No.
then I saw the first one again just the other day. I'm like, no, this is definitely my favorite. Like, first of all, just the Darth Maul fight, forget about it. That's the best fight of the original. That's probably the best fight of any of the first 6 movies. I like that might be a little blasphemy, but it's such a good fight.
It's was
so good.
And I will say I did like Obi-Wan versus Anakin a little better, but only for the emotional weight it carried. I agree with you. I thought that was well done. And in fact, a lot of the prequels, it's kind of in vogue now to be a little bit forgiving of the Phantom Menace.
Maybe.
I mean, it's certainly
it's
not
a good movie.
Anywhere close to what they achieved with the with the original trilogy. But again, I mean, you axe Jar Jar, you tone down Anakin a little bit, and it could have been very serviceable as an introduction to the Star Wars universe.
And then the more I see it, because the first time I saw Phantom Menace, I was pretty young myself.
Oh yeah.
And now I see like the kind of the political scenes and stuff, and it's like that's actually pretty good. Like they do a good job. It's a compelling story of what's happening in the galaxy. With the Trade Federation and the deception there.
Yeah, and even if those scenes feel a little slow, which they do, I mean, it kind of identifies the problem with the galaxy, which is that it's bogged down in politics.
Yeah, and that's half of the story. Is it's a political drama. It really is. And I think for people who maybe some of the original Star Wars, because there wasn't a lot of that in the original trilogy. Star Wars wasn't about political drama, but I liked that part of it. I thought, like, the Empire is such a force, and in these first movies, the Empire didn't exist as it does, in 4, 5, and 6. You got to build that up. They can't just come from nowhere and take power. They were kind of put there for a reason,
Right.
So,
and it's kind of ironic then that the things that people criticize, Phantom Menace for so much are actually, basically the building blocks of the Empire. I mean, they're supposed to come off as incompetent and slow-witted because that's precisely what Darth Sidious played off of in order to rise to power.
8-inch cannon, LOL. So, what does this say about Cloud that he's trying to shed the Zack persona and kind of be his own man, and he's getting freaking killed?
Yeah, I know, right? He's just getting molested every single fight.
Maybe you should act a little more like Zack.
Part of it's probably that I didn't equip the Ragnarok right away.
Ah,
Let's see, we've got the escort guard, but I also just got...
Where'd you get the Ragnarok from? Ooh, hello.
There we go.
Did you just got that from the treasure chest, right? Okay.
I did. I might have a second one as well.
What about that Zedric? We got the Minerva band, which works. What about the Zedric?
Yeah. The only thing is the Eden coat has one extra materia slot, but I think that's a worthwhile trade. Dude, the Aegis armlet, too. That's like raw defense.
With the magic defense. Look at that.
Yeah.
And then, wait, the Zedric.
That might be good for Sid.
See, the Minerva band's a little bit better just for the straight defense, but I think...
And it can only be equipped by women, so that's worthwhile for Yuffie.
Okay. That makes sense.
Let's find a piece of materia she doesn't really need. I think my stealing days are done. Because that was really the last fight that you need to do that.
I mean, I think there's some worthwhile things to steal in the North Crater, but then the North Crater is, you can go back there whenever you want.
Right, you have multiple opportunities to do that.
So, yeah, I think you're good.
Let's see,
I don't think Hojo has anything worthwhile.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't know. There's Escort Guard, which is pretty good. Minerva Aegis armlet, he actually takes a hit to his regular defense, but his magic defense goes sky high. He also loses some materia slots.
Oh. What does he have on right now? The Dragon Armlet?
Yeah. I think the Escort Guard might be better, because even though it doesn't have as much magic defense,
you don't lose much.
It nullifies lightning, earth, water, and poison.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's a trade-off.
So that makes up for the, magic. Then that's going to be like almost half the spells out there. So yeah, that is and it doesn't cut your materia.
Yeah. And hey, let's make Sid even more Actually, as much as Cloud is kind of like a glass cannon, I think I should give him the tough ring. I can always win more at Gold Saucer.
Yeah. He's a real toughie.
Yeah, right. Let's see here. Yuffie's got the ribbon. Oh, hey, I have 2 tough rings. Sweet.
Oh, sweet. All right.
That'll do. I don't know where I got those. I must have stolen them from the Turks.
I don't know if this will be post-game or something. I feel like we should do a Gold Saucer Battle Arena recording at some point. Gold Saucer.
Oh, yeah. I think next episode, after we beat Hojo here, we'll begin Disc 3, and we'll collect some endgame gear before we go to the crater.
Sweet. Maybe at least Omnislash would be good.
Yeah, we'll get Cloud, Sid, and Yuffie's ultimate weapons. We'll get Omnislash. It may require a little, cheating.
Oh, do you get Yuffie's from Wu-Tai?
We'll have to fight Yuffie's dad.
I know you get her ultimate limit break from that, but I don't remember where her ultimate weapon is.
Yeah.
I guess in the same spot.
Hey, is it just me? Or did I miss the opportunity to go into the Shinra HQ and get Kate Sith's ultimate weapon?
I haven't been paying super close attention, but I don't think you're there yet. I think Shinra HQ
or is it that I can come back to Midgar later and get it?
I don't know about that. I'm not positive.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
But I think this is the part, if you care, I think that might be the screen that you were just in, where if you have Barrett in your party, you can get the, what is that, the missing shots, or the whatever his ultimate weapon is.
Yeah.
But for some stupid reason, you can only get it if he's in your party.
Here's what I'm doing. I've turned off random battles, and I increased the speed, so I'm going to see. Oh, you know what? I think I might be right.
Seriously?
Yeah. In which case, we'll just do like a quick 2-minute detour here. Yep.
Man, I thought that was later. Holy crap. How missable is that? This is a huge part of coming back here.
Yeah. Yeah, you can miss that real easy.
This is huge.
The 3x speed is throwing me off. You remember which floor that was, the locker room?
64, 63.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Okay, it's not 63.
Did you get it on your first try? No.
Oh, wait. There's also open rooms here with items.
Yeah, there's a few things you can get here, I'm pretty sure. It's not just his web. I mean, that's obviously the crown jewel of coming back here.
Yep. And here's the floor. You're right, 64. Dude, you have a pretty impressive memory.
Oh, yeah. And it's upper left. I think it's the back one to the left a little bit.
HP Shout, there it was.
HP Shout.
Yep.
It was just a useless megaphone. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, that's right. You can interact with it at the beginning of the game.
Is Domino or Pizza the Hut here? No, they got the hell out of here a long time ago.
Right. Oh man, what a great game. I'm really glad that I had that thought just as we were about to go face Hojo.
Yeah, I thought that was still ahead. I thought you had to go through there at some point for some reason. Guess not.
Yeah, I know that's what I think. But you know what? Now that I think about it, the only reason I ever got it as a kid was because I totally used the strategy guide.
Oh my god, me too.
Back in those days, I didn't care about spoilers or anything. I used the strategy guide from the moment I booted the game up till the end.
This was one of the first games where it's I followed a strategy guide pretty close. The Super Nintendo games, I just played those, however I wanted to. I did everything I could.
Right.
And we pretty much figured everything out that we could. I don't think the strategy guide added much other than it was a fantastic art book for FF6.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that FF6 strategy guide is probably, or FF3 rather, was probably my favorite one ever created.
Yeah, I'm sad that mine, I think it's probably at my parents' house, but I remember the cover kind of got torn off. The rest of it is still in good shape, but it's missing a cover. Well, yeah. The cover's with it, but it's torn.
I just realized I need Barrett in my party to... That's another thing I remember from the strategy guide. You actually need Barrett in your party to get this weapon.
I think I literally said that 5 minutes ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you say the part about actually needing Barrett in your party.
Oh yeah. Missing score. That's what it is.
But now that we got it, we'll just abandon him all over again.
Yeah. No. Did your part, Barrett.
Yeah, right. And we're done here.
Your
Wait,
services
I
are not-
wanted to
I
stick
thought
it
we
to
go way
Hojo.
back. I thought we were friends. I ain't useless, man. What are you? Oh man.
Oh, come on, Cloud. Listen, Barrett, it's not you, buddy. It's me. I don't know why I gave Cloud a Brooklyn accent all of a
I
sudden.
don't know either.
Listen,
kinda
Barrett,
digging
you
it,
know,
though.
these things, they don't always work out the way you want them to. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
he's his own man now.
Right.
He shed the Zach persona. That's just Cloud.
Yeah, right. Cloud just has like a
Barrett,
really annoying West Side New York accent. Listen, Hojo, I'm gonna fuck you up, okay? You're not leaving me a whole lot of options at this point, my man.
This sitcom like clasking at the keyboard.
Hey, Hojo, stop it
right
right
there.
there. I'm gonna bust your fucking kneecaps. At least remember my name, you pinko piece of shit. It's Cloud.
Now, is he brandishing his sword, or is he? That looks like just like the pose when he's at Don Cornelio's bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Saying
I
his
think he's not
name
holding
stuff.
his sword as much as he's holding his sword.
It looks like he's taking a knee a little bit, but he's acting like
No, it looks like he's like
guy.
firmly grasping his genitals
with both hands.
with both hands.
It's got a good grip.
You know, the eyes aren't the only thing that changes when you get Mako. Every single soldier has like a 12-inch penis. Little known fact. I love Cloud's question there. Why would you
Ask
fucking do
people
that?
why, you moron.
Yeah, right.
Hojo's kind of cool.
All of a sudden, like, he goes to, like, Chandler Bing from Friends. Why is this happening?
Why?
Could you make any less sense? Actually, didn't the cutscene from earlier imply that Sephiroth did know that Hojo was his father?
What implied that? What did I
Remember,
miss?
he said his mother was Genova, and then his father, like, he laughed about it, and he
Oh, where he's
was like, no comment, winky face.
Yeah, I thought just because Hojo pointed it.
Hey, the heater is cutting you off again.
Whoopsie doodle.
So you thought what?
That he knew and that he's pointed is just like what Hojo is. Okay, Hojo's like lost his damn mind at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. There's not a whole lot of redeeming Hojo. This is
I
actually a
guess that
mercy killing at this point. But, you know, I like what you said about the Japanese version of Hojo, because at this point, like, this is basically seeing a very cool, collected man come completely unhinged.
Oh, yeah, it
whereas
makes
in
it more
this game,
tragic.
like, Hojo was always a little fucked up.
Yeah, this. Yuck.
I'm gonna get you.
This is just how he looks. Again, just a little bit off. It very much that. And he looks creepy. Like, it's sad.
Yeah, why is he green? Like, see,
It's kinda giving
zombie
that,
Hojo.
that Doctor, what do you call it? From FF4?
Oh, Dr. Lu guy?
Lu guy. That's right. That was
Also,
a
like,
messed up
I
fight.
don't know if you can fillet it anymore, but it's totally cutting you off.
Ah, damn. What the hell?
Sorry.
That's okay. Maybe my microphone got moved or something.
Now you're coming in nice and clear.
Okay.
All right, Hades. We're going to go ahead and speed you on up.
I call him Hades.
Yeah, right.
Dark Lord
I
of the
call him the
Underworld.
god of the underworld.
to
Oh,
fuck
dude.
up this guy in a lab coat.
Hades was awesome. It just
Whoa.
wrecked those two little helpers of Hojo. Now we can just go to work on him. That was nice. I don't think I've ever thought to use sleep against this enemy. Aw. Now let's see. How's the Mako juice reacting?
Juice?
Mako juice. Is that like something they sell over the counter in Midgar?
Mako juice. Ugh.
Mako juice. He's just been bottling his own urine and drinking it.
Yeah, total Dr. Lou guy vibe.
Biogas. This looks like a job for Titan. And then as soon as his third form shows up, that's when we'll knock out Bahamut Zero. The land is angry with you, Hojo. Oh, I didn't realize he had three parts.
He has three, yeah.
Now he's more like Bygone from FF4.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of has the look of him, too.
I'm just going to summon Titan again as long as he's dealing mass damage. Summons remain fairly useful until the end.
They really do. That's good, yeah. The summons
I mean, eventually you get Knights of the Round and nothing else matters, but...
They're kind of OP in this game, but at the same time, summons take... Well, they take a lot of magic, but then again, some of the magic does, too. So, summons really are, you know, just use them.
Yeah, in fact, now that I think about it, I should probably be casting Ultima.
I think the kind of the biggest drawback to summons is kind of what they do to your character. Just they usually kill your stats a bit, but not that much. Like not a whole lot. You know, have one summon per character. Why not?
Right. Oh shit.
He knows Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. Good. He did it on Yuffie, which is
he didn't get Cloud.
Bonus.
Everyone else, you know, had the better sense to.
Nice.
Damn. Wow.
Ultima was the way to go.
Wrecked him.
And unlike summons, there's no casting limit on it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna do that again. Sleeple. Not Sleeple.
Here's the door. Here's the Sleeple.
Open it up and
the
see
door.
all the
Here's
people.
All the people.
Oh, Sleeple. He doesn't look good. I actually feel a little bit bad.
Need more Mako juice, man. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Better than this.
Quick, hand me that bottle of yellow liquid. What are you gonna do with it? You're not gonna drink it, are you? No, just hand it to me. Okay, but I don't like it. Oh, he's totally drinking it, guys. All right, here we go. So I remember as a kid, I would get to the third form of Hojo, and he would always kill me, and it was such a pain in the ass.
There's something he does, yeah. I remember this being kind of a fight.
I think it's just status ailments.
I think you're right.
But I don't think he's going to get much of a chance to do that this time around. Call it a hunch.
No.
You know, the almighty dragon father of the universe just annihilated him, so he can't be feeling good at this point. And Sid's about to harpoon him. Ow.
Ooh.
That was awesome. Oh, I love
no,
that.
I don't want to feel that again.
He was just like a hair too late. Like, let's not do that again, Cloud.
Yeah.
Dude, he's missing him like crazy, too. I think it's because I put the miss style on Cloud.
Still, though, like, I don't know.
I think that has really high evade.
Missed it all with that move, but damn.
Yeah. Okay, as long as he keeps trying to get Yuffie with status elements, that's good.
Oh no, they're all separate. He's just blind. I mean, I guess
put Cloud to
makes sense
sleep.
Why?
Oh, and Yuffie doesn't know Asuna, huh?
Well, he just woke Cloud up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't matter.
Dude's an idiot.
Well, that's it. Cloud just got his limit break. And that's the game.
Yeah. You're done. You're done.
Especially with the freaking Ragnarok.
Where did you get that Ragnarok? I don't remember.
Proud Cloud.
Proud Cloud, okay.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now see, this fight I didn't cheat at all. And like, that's how I remember playing the game. Like, I don't quite understand why I've been having such difficulty.
Lightning was born. Fire was born.
Yeah, right. And thus, Final Fantasy 13 began. Like Cloud kicks so much ass that he makes a baby, and that's lightning.
They kind of look alike.
His Tourette's just kicks in full force. Fuck shit, fuck.
I feel you there, Sid.
Yuffie, how sad for
For
him.
him.
What a bitch.
I wonder if that line came across like that originally or not.
In the Japanese version, Yuffie's like, oh,
guy,
guys, look, the little bitch is crying. It's like even more stupid. What a baby. Are you gonna cry, you big baby? Seven days. Right. At this point, what you don't realize is there's an in-game timer set for 7 days, and if you don't beat it...
Cosmo Canyon Boy? Yes.
Oh, man. Don't ask me that. Really, Barrett? I thought it was pretty reasonable. Like, yeah, the man is actually giving you an opportunity to see your daughter before you quite possibly die. No.
Yeah. I do like they it's obvious that Cloud has like a lot more of a personality.
Yeah.
You know, it's a nice touch.
It is. Though I always thought this scene would have been made better if they actually cut to each individual character's like like homecoming. Like it wouldn't have to be like a super long scene, but just show them actually going home and kind of making peace with the people who doubted them or wronged them or like show their growth as characters. But instead it's just Cloud and Tifa.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is fine, but I just thought it could have been more impactful than it was.
And they've all, you think Cloud's grown as a person. Barrett has, too. Kate
for sure.
Definitely has.
Red 13 has, Sid has.
Yeah, Red 13 understands more, knows about his relationship with his father. Sid definitely has. Yeah, they've all grown as people. Well, maybe not Yuffie, I don't know. You haven't gone to Wu-Tei
Well, Yuffie
yet.
is an optional character, so her growth is largely dependent on if you've done her side quest.
Yeah.
Like, the core of the main cast does, mature throughout the game. I guess Reeve, maybe, but he also doesn't have any characters that are like... who's he going to talk to? Scarlet and Heidegger's corpses?
Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer. He just goes and gets a beer with Palmer. Well, buddy, we've had a long run, you and I. The fact is, tomorrow I might not be here. Palmer, I just want to thank you for helping deliver my firstborn child. Palmer's he's missing an eye and he's in a full body cast, but he's like, you know what, Reeve? It was worth it for you, my friend. I was glad to take one for the team. You're a real gentleman, Palmer.
Good old Palmer.
Good old Palmer. Oh, that would just be like the final kick in the... Who's piloting
7 days
the damn
later,
airship
no one
right
came
now?
back. Oh, God.
Like, really, this is horrible. Like, Tifa, do you know how to fly this thing? The co-pilot just decided, yeah, I'm going to go see my mom before all this is over. Good luck, guys.
I know I said they could leave, but all at once.
I didn't think he'd parachute out. That would be so great. Like, in the background of the scene, instead of the high wind just kind of parked there, it's like a smoldering wreck.
Wait, well, Eris was your date, but I guess, I think...
No, I've been quite mean to Tifa.
Different. You've been what?
I've been pretty mean to Tifa.
Okay, so you don't get the full scene.
Yeah, no, it's not implied that they have sex. Which totally went over my head as a kid. Like, what's the line there? Like, then we should, treat this as though it'll be, our last night together or something like that. I forget how she says it.
And I think some of your other teammates are like, ooh, like the morning.
Oh yeah,
after
and then
or
they
something.
imply that they watched you, which is just super creepy. Now this part I think stays the same. Like
Yeah. Most of
Tifa
it
kind of
does.
puts her cards on the table and admits she likes Cloud, but unless you've been like leading Cloud to like Tifa, this scene's kind of anticlimactic for her, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, see. Now they just start talking about the planet. Poor Tifa. I actually feel a little bit bad now.
Yeah. And that's where.
Yeah, see, I guess you're right. Yeah. Like she was gonna say something and then decided to let it go.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I know. Wah,
Dad.
wah, wah.
You bet on the wrong. Well, that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Well, we knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
We
Well,
knew
and
what we
actually,
were
when you look at Advent Children, this is almost the more canon version of that because there's like no
That's true.
real resolution to that. It's not like Cloud and Tifa are an item in that movie.
in Advent Children. That's true. It'd be kind of weird if they weren't.
Yeah, it's almost more like they're roommates, you know? But again, like, I don't know how I feel about that movie to this day. Like, it had some good action scenes, but the story for me just didn't do it. And it kind of hit the reset button on Cloud's character growth, so I disliked it for that.
A little bit of that, and I hated. Ultimately, I like the movie, but really just because of that last fight scene is awesome. Like that's great, but the parts of Sephiroth, that was terrible. I hated.
Yeah,
those
that
guys.
was just bad.
They had like no personality. It was stupid, and why would different parts of Sephiroth it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, but the Tifa fight was great, and the Cloud fight with Sephiroth was awesome.
Right. And I mean, for a plot line that was already sort of disjointed, I mean, that movie didn't do it any favors.
No, that's true. Geostigma.
Yeah,
I mean, the
for me,
Geostigma
Square's movie productions have never been that great. Though, controversial statement, I actually did kind of like Kingsglaive.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought it was a good setup for the game, but that was the nice thing about it, is that it wasn't relying on nostalgia, and it wasn't trying to rock your world or anything. It was literally trying to establish the universe, and it did that, which I liked.
It did that really well, yeah. I kind of wish Luna had as much personality and lines in the actual game than she did in that movie, but
she was a much bigger part of that movie than she was the actual
half the
game.
Star of that movie.
Of course, I haven't played through FF15 since the Royal Edition came out, so I think now I'm pretty sure they've added some more robust scenes with Luna. They're all flashbacks, but they exist. So I've got to check that out from front to back again.
I don't know if they have more, but even before that, they some stuff to chapter 12, more of a flashback with her. They made it seem like and more believable that Noctis is pretty upset that she's gone.
Right, yeah. Anything with those two, I feel like besides episode Arden, I would still love to see a whole side story involving Noctis and Luna. Maybe they retroactively make it so that they're able to meet up before she dies in Altissia. Something have them go on a date, have them do a little side mission together, with Aranea or some of the other characters. Something.
You see their relationship as kids, which is okay, so that's the setup. Though they really,
what the hell did Vincent just do? Sorry. But I mean, did you see that maneuver Vincent just did?
I did. He just kind of flew away.
It's almost like he tried to do a backflip and then he got sucked into an exhaust vent or something.
One of the windows in the high wind just broke. Cabin pressure was
that
lost.
too soon?
Oops. Actually,
you heard about that story, right?
I don't know the details of it.
But basically, it's exactly what it sounded like. An engine blew up on a southwest plane. It knocked out one of the windows, and some poor woman got like sucked halfway out and then died later when they tried to resuscitate her.
Oh God, yeah, I didn't know. Like, I was wondering about that. Like, did someone get sucked? Did they lose cabin pressure, and someone got sucked out? Okay,
No,
so
it
I
was
guess that's
a
exactly
window
what
blew out
happened.
when the engine caught fire, and then yeah, she just was in the wrong place.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
terrible.
Well, and I hate flying anyways. So anytime a story like that comes up, like I always, think about it the next time I'm on a plane.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we're taking a Southwest flight tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Wait, what is going on with
Well,
these people? They're just
I'm
jumping
sure
out?
that won't happen twice.
Probably not.
I mean, what are the odds, right?
Well, this is our last recording. It's been an honor.
Yeah, right.
You'll have to
I'll just
finish
put
Super
like a
Metroid
gentle
for me,
little
but-
like rest in peace Max Biggs at the end.
Dun, 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 dun. You'll have the Animal Crossing. Dun, 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 dun. Dun,
And then like put little X's over your eyes in the closing credits. Before swiftly replacing you with
fuck you, buddy.
yeah, right. Oh man.
I feel real salty when I'm dead.
Well, guys, it's been 12 hours since Max died, but the show must go on, so. These two levers have been bugging me for a while. Self-destruct sequence has been activated. Our enemy is Hojo. I mean, Sephiroth.
Hi. Oh, is that the
man.
end of the disc? Well, almost.
This is a cool scene. Oh, yeah. Boom.
That was Vincent they dropped.
We're almost to the North Cave. We're going way too fast. He crashes them like directly into the
North
crater.
Cave.
Oh boy. Urgh! Some incredible force losing control. Get the hell out of here, Frankies. Why does this work? Like, how does like 4 people holding the steering wheel do something different?
I know, right?
Like, you mean to tell me this thing doesn't have power steering?
Nope.
Nope.
You just gotta put your whole weight into it.
End of part 2.
Oh, man.
Welp. I guess that's
2
our
discs
cue, Max.
in.
Next time we get some extra weapons, and
Maybe
then we'll be taking it to the
ultimate weapon?
cave.
All right.
All right, buddy. Until next
Can't believe we
time.
made it this far.
Yep.
All right. See you next time.
See ya.